Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Today, in the world of art, we're going to be looking at doing a nice, easy, again, something that anyone can do, potentially. It's quite attainable. It's all just going to be bits and pieces. It's a relief, basically. So, drawing, 2D, flat, relief is where elements of it are coming up. Now, when you're doing that, it can be something that you want. If you want to do a face, we'll do that another day. We'll build up a face out of card, paper mache it. So there's a face coming out of there or an animal. Today, we're just going to go with a break into it, nice and easy. We're just going for textures. We're going to make a textured surface here. Then we're going to paint it white and then dry brush it to bring out all the different textures. You can also wash it. We'll look at both of those as an option when we get there. So all I've done for this is I've got cheap canvas, some bits that are potentially laying around your house. You're not potentially going to have this laying around your house, but sticks out the garden, dried leaves from, plants you might have around the house. Bits like that. Paper clips, cocktail sticks, bubble wrap, rice. I won't be forgetting the rice. I've got some rice to play with as well. So that'll add an interesting texture. You can also do this. I'm going to use the hot glue gun because that's going to give me some added texture. But you can just do this with PVA glue. Just totally cover that. I'd use just neat PVA glue. I won't water it down or anything. Let your objects fall or place them where you want them. Stick it away to dry. It'll probably take neat PVA glue. If you do a fairly thick starting point, it'll probably take between a day and two to dry. Same for, like I said, we'll talk about the paper mache when we get to that point. We'll do that another day. And then potentially another day after that, if you optionally want to really make sure that it's sealed in there, give it another coat of PVA glue afterwards. So yeah, let's do this. The hot glue gun is ready. Like I say, I'm going to try not to think about it too much. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And you can also get a really nice effect just by using a hot glue gun as well. So we're just going to let these fall around. We'll do the same over here with the paper clips. The bubble wrap might not fare so well with a hot glue gun, but we'll see. Well, I know it won't, it'll melt, but we'll see what texture we get from it all the same. The other bits, we'll put that bit in there as well. Well, let's find out. We're going to put it on there anyway. And it pops, it pops. Now let's get... Put a bit of foil on there. Let's get a sprinkling of rice ready. Since I've got it out, let's get it in there somewhere. Maybe a little bit up here. Maybe we'll use up what's left in there. All right. Get rid of those stringy bits. So this is going to be one of those mystery kind of reveals. You don't really know. You know what it is because you've put it on there. You don't really know how it's going to look until you paint it up and then dry brush it or wash it. So I'm going to put that aside to let dry, and then I'll shake the extra rice off. And I think I will, as long as I've still got some spray paint, I will spray paint that. You can just use a brush, no issues. It'll just take a little bit longer so you can get into every nook and cranny. With the spray paint, it'll just be done in a matter of minutes. So we're going to let that dry. When we come back, it should all be white. And we'll look at whether we're going to dry brush it or wash it. Or you could do both. They'll have different results. A dry brush will pick out the raised surface. It won't seep right down. Whereas the wash does the other. It'll seep into all the crevices and leave it paler at the top. And you can do a combination of both. Give it a wash and then highlight everything. So the wash will seep into all the cracks. And push everything further forward. And then the dry brush will highlight all the raised edges. So that's the plan. Right, here is our textured canvas, our relief. So, all dried, spray painted white. You can hand paint it white. Spray painting is easier and it's quicker, but you don't have to. So now we are going to start dry brushing it. I'm going to do dry brush with this one. May or may not wash, we'll see. Dry brush is nice and easy. Dry brush, colour of your choice. I'm choosing blue, surprise, surprise. And you don't want a lot of paint on your brush. You want little to no paint at all. We're just going to go over. And watch it pick out all the texture. And with the dry brushing, you don't just have to stick to one colour. You can pick as many colours as you see fit, or you can even go up in shades. I'll probably be doing at least two. I'll do the blue and then I'll do one more over the top of that. And like with a lot of things in art, and especially paint, always go less to begin with, because you can always add more. Like, I will probably give this several dry brushes with the blue before I add any other colour. How cool is that looking already? Right, we are going to speed forward I will give this a couple more coats. You can already see it's painting an interesting picture. And then we'll come back and decide whether we're going to do a wash or whether we're just going to add a final dry brush and how far we're going to take this. And we're done. That is a nice, simple, easy introduction to relief and dry brushing. So let's get the camera on the phone up so you can see. How cool does that look? The hot glue has a really nice effect. So does the foil, really. I mean, it all does for different reasons. There's the rice. More foil. And this will also, having an experiment like this, the wood bits, paper clips hidden in amongst the hot glue. We have bubble wrap. Oh, more rice on the cocktail sticks. That's really cool as well, actually. Yeah, this will also give you a nice idea, having an experiment with a mixed media piece like this. If you wanted to hone in on doing like a landscape or a portrait, this will give you a good idea of textures and the end result. This would make for a really nice ocean, sea or water texture. Even a tree, like, you know, the leafy bits. Wood speaks for itself, but you can use it for other things, like this particular cut of wood that I was using. That'd make for a nice skin, as well as the obvious, like a tree trunk if you wanted to do a landscape piece. Both things that are made with wood, but like I say, you can think outside the box and just look at the texture itself. The hot glue, you could always go in for detail. Clouds even. I think the foil would also look good for clouds. That would really work nice. Or a sun. Petals. Cocktail sticks. Thin detail. You could bunch them all together and have, you know, a knobbly surface, but it was all one continuous texture. The rice. Now the rice would also make for good trees. You could make trees with the cocktail sticks and the rice, because the rice would make for lots of individual leaves, or you could combine the foil and the rice to make the greenery of a tree. And the paper clips, you're going to probably be looking at more abstract or symbolism with that and trying to get a symbolic sort of shape using them, or just bend them out. Bend them out and use them in a different way. Bend them into the shapes that you want them to be. They're paper clips. They're, you know, relatively easy to bend without cutting your fingers up. And yeah, bubble wrap, again, like the obvious, clouds, the sea, trees, the sun, a bubble wrap, a moon. Oh, because of the craters. That'd look really cool. So yeah. And as an overall piece, it's an interesting result. It'll definitely get people talking if you were to have that up on your wall. Even if it was just, excuse me, even if it was just, you know, trying to get them to work out, especially when it's all together like this, and even if you made even more built up so there wasn't so much canvas behind, getting them try to work out what each piece began life as. Some would be obvious, but if the paper clips were bent out, that wouldn't be obvious that they were paper clips. The bubble wrap, with different textures going over the top of it, isn't going to necessarily look like bubble wrap anymore. Even the little rice bullets. So yeah, and in the end, I think you probably would have saw, I did the dry brush in cerulean blue first, and then pearl silver just to lighten it, and then pearl gold. I like that the gold isn't wholly obvious that it's gold. In some places it looks really gold, in other places it looks like metallic green, like an emerald-esque. And there will be in places like little hints of silver down here where the gold didn't catch them because I went super light with the gold, super patchy. So yeah, that is that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and it's giving you some ideas, something to try yourself, something that isn't daunting to try whatsoever. Have a rummage through your house, find little scraps, drawing pins, paper clips, screwed up paper, torn card, anything you can lay your hands on, any adhesive that you've got that can stick it down to a canvas. And you don't even have to invest in a canvas. If you want to start out, literally start out on a piece of cardboard. Glue things to a piece of card. Paint it. Dry brush it. We will do washes in the future for people who aren't sure what a wash is, so you can see the effect that that gives. And we'll also do a combination of the two. So painting it, washing it, dry brushing it, so you can see the different layers that it hits in your canvas or your artwork. So yeah, like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.